Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 320. And wait, go.
So take a shot, what? Is that the message you got? We about to go live, are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah, I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a Ramon Razor. Strict man, nature boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Mickie James, joined as always, the spare to my heir, Marcus Davenport Shawan III. Marcus, how you doing today?
Wow, you called me Prince Harry, huh? You went there.
I like Prince Harry. It's not an insult. Why are you taking insult with negativity?
I like Prince Harry too. I have to say, I've been following the documentaries. I've been listening a little bit to the audiobook when my wife plays it. You have the actual copy of the book, right?
So far, so good, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm hearing. It's fascinating stuff. Very much into the royal family, and he's not just spilling the tea. He's like pouring the tea all over the place.
Good for him. Tell your story, buddy. He's like somebody I just want to grab a drink with. I saw him on Colbert. I'm like, I can hang out with this dude.
Yeah, he's mad chill. Lots of personality. Definitely not right for the crown, then.
No, not at all. His brother is, though. His brother's spot on for that job.
Right. I mean, he was very close to the queen, and she tailored him to be this way,
Yes, sir. Following along on Twitter, Bell's wrong. Hard to kill. Mickie James final match underway. Marcus, we'll keep an eye on that during the show.
Here we go.
Or is it? Who knows? Just really quick, somebody at work ordered us lunch. Okay,
that's nice. What did you get?
I got like a barbecue chicken sandwich.
Nice.
I've gotten it before.
Can't go wrong there.
And with bacon.
Okay.
I've gotten it before, and I never remember not asking for onions, but it had onions on it. Gross. Onions are absolutely disgusting. So I picked them off, right? This is around like 1:30. I've washed my hands numerous times, Purelled it several times, and the smell of the onions is still on my fingertips. It's fucking gross, dude. It's pissing me off all fucking day. Last thing I need today. Rant over. Thank you. I need to get off that my chest.
That's the thing that sets you off. Wow.
Oh, Marcus, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Want me to go off? I'll go off.
We're due for a putty rant.
Did we just have one last week?
That was more of like a back and forth. It wasn't exactly a rant.
We were recording the show Friday, the 13th. Marcus, looking forward to your Martin Luther King Day weekend. Because I'm not. I got to work all 3 fucking days. That's why I'm in a bad mood. So I can't have an energy drink. You can't really drink too much. So we're going to have a different putty tonight. Let's see what happens. Marcus is drinking, though. Please. Bottoms up.
Yeah, bottoms up. I plan on enjoying my 3-day weekend.
Great.
So
please do. Get some sleep in for me. Do something fun.
Sleep?
Yeah.
I'm a parent. I don't sleep.
Well, you're a parent? You have mentioned that before.
Yeah, well.
Ba-dum-bum.
Am I turning into Brie Bella? Like, as a mom?
Yeah, you actually remind me of that episode of Family Guy where Brian, the dog, if you don't know, finds out he's a long-lost son. And now he turns into that parent. Like, instead of hanging out with the boys, like, Peter, please. I'm a father now? I can't be doing this in front of my son. Like, they think he's so boring. Like, he's not fun anymore. Guys, please, not in front of my son, okay? That's you. I can play, as a father. Now that I have a daughter, as a father, I'm like, oh, jeez, you are that guy, yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining.
No, I'm still going out. I'm still doing things. Like this Sunday, for example, I'm going out to... No. Is that even still a thing?
I have no clue. Not since the pandemic, I don't think so.
Right. So, I'm going out to see my friends in Connecticut to watch the games this Sunday. He did volunteer, hey, man, you feel free to crash if if you have too many. I'm like, part of me is like, yeah, well, as a dad, I might have father's guilt if I did that.
Okay.
But I know I'm going to cut loose. This weekend. Let's see what happens.
You have fun.
I will. I'll have one for you.
Please. I'm still going to fucking drink no matter fuck work, dude. Like, I'm bringing my iPod. How old am I? iPad to work on Sunday. Because fuck them. I'm putting the game on. I haven't seen the Dolphins game and playoff game in 6 years. Yeah, it's going to be one and done, but I still want to fucking go and enjoy myself. Fuck them. They can't keep me from watching my Dolphins.
But they can, though.
Then fucking pay me. It's not a fucking work day. Anyway, this is way past. This is be all over with by the time you're listening to this. Mark, I don't know about you, but there's some news in the world of wrestling this week.
Yeah, some news broke out. It was a little slow week, but I think I have something here for the fans.
Mickie James with a wicked bulldog off the top rope, Marcus. Both women are down. Oof.
Look at you, Putty. Practicing commentary for BCW's Queen of the North 4. That's at Richfield Park, New Jersey, January 29th. Door is open at 2 o'clock. Bell time is 3 o'clock. Cannot wait for that one.
I'm not getting sharp, Marcus. I'm staying sharp.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, Putty.
What was trending this week?
Well, I mean,
nothing. We get right to the news. Get right to TV. Nothing, right?
Yeah, right. Nothing at all. Is it you just want to rush me along because you were wrong last week? Could that be it?
I wasn't wrong at all, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Well, let's start off from the very beginning, shall we? So we're going to start off earlier in the week. WrestlePurist at WrestlePurist. Stephanie McMahon resigned from all of her positions at WWE today, according to PW Insider, which was set off like a lot of alarm bells. Everyone's just like, holy shit, is this really happening? Stephanie McMahon, not just stepping away, not just like, hey, taking a sabbatical. No, straight up resigning. Someone who dedicated her whole life to this business. Done. Buddy, before we get to everything else, what was your initial takeaway from that?
That sucks. But first thing I thought about it was she left before this thing blew up. So now she's just going back to where her original plans were. Just being there for her kids. Turns out she had surgery today. So
yeah, no, that was a shocker about the surgery aspect of it. It seems like she tore something in her ankle or something like that. But
something like that. Yeah.
It seems like she's good. She seems like she's fine, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, initially when I saw that, I'm like, what's going on here?
This is the
I
snowball ripple. Here's the beginning of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think a lot of other people are starting to think the same way. Like, what is going on here? Apparently Stephanie McMahon wasn't too keen on her father coming back, rightfully so, because her and Nick Khan were running the ship the right way.
Yep.
And I thought maybe she was pissed off. It was like a slap in the face to her work. That's initially what I thought. But then this tweet breaks out from Steven Mulhausen. Sources. Hausen. Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Sources. #WWE has been sold to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. The company will go back to being private. Unknown if Vince McMahon will return to head of creative, but is expected by some people. Whoa.
That's when I texted you saying, fuck. That's when I was wrong. I'm like, I would have bet money, life on the line that they would not sell to Saudi Arabia. And that's why I say, fuck. Fucking fuck, dude. Why?
It was a punch to the gut, and it was speculation, I have to say, because there were rumors. There were some journalists that were doing a great job saying nothing, right? But a lot of people, it was weird. Like on Twitter, it was just like they were teasing like a big announcement. Oh my God, I can't believe what I just heard. Like there was just a lot of clout chasing, it seemed like, amongst some journalists, some wannabe journalists. Couldn't really tell. It's hard to tell right now in the landscape of Twitter because, you can just buy your blue check mark and then you could call yourself a journalist on there and people are going to think you're a journalist unless they check out. But whole long story. Anywho, the point is there was a lot of confusion going on there and people were freaking out, rightfully so, because, it's just Saudi Arabia buying WWE would not be a good look at all.
No.
For example, blood money. How does it affect certain talent like Sami Zayn? How does it affect maybe openly gay talent like Sonya Deville or people of different religions that are against? I mean, there's so much impact there. And going from a business standpoint, Saudi Arabia, they have, Live Golf? Was that what it's called?
Yep. That's the first thing I thought of. Yep.
Right? They have marquee players, the best talented golf players in the world, but they can't get TV rights because U.S. media relations do not have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia. So what would happen there? So many questions and none of the good ones. And then, of course, as wrestling fans, Vince McMahon, head of creative, that sounds like a nightmare for a lot of people. I know you're probably in the opposite of that, but people just don't want to see that anymore. So many bad things go on there with those rumors. But The next morning, you wake up to this from Ariel Helwani.
Very good.
Thank you. There is no deal in place at this precise moment for WWE to be sold to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund or any entity. The organization is still exploring all options. Sigh of relief. We can all calm down now, right? No big deal. Okay, it's all rumors. False alarm. We're doing good here. We're doing good.
Yep.
And then this little nugget comes up, of course. This coming up from Moonlight Graham at Reese Kelly G. A class action lawsuit has been launched against Vince McMahon. A shareholder is suing McMahon in Delaware, accusing him of wielding his 81% voting control to impose his will on WWE illegally. Cites board changes, threats to interfere with media rights, etc. That's according to Bloomberg Law. That's pretty serious. And to be expected, the way how Vince McMahon came back, I know you were for Vince McMahon coming back the way he did.
The board of directors.
But this is kind of a la what Elon Musk did, right? When you have a public company, there's certain protocol you have to follow. It seems like Vince McMahon did not necessarily follow that protocol. He's a billionaire, though. I mean, like, I don't necessarily know what the fines are for this or what can happen in this lawsuit. I'm sure it gets dragged out through attorneys, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, that's not a good look. And this, I think, one of the things that people were worried about with him coming back, at least in the board. But then other news broke out pertaining directly to WWE. Cultaholic Wrestling at Cultaholic admits reports that WWE is looking to sell the company. WWE CEO Nick Khan, no longer CEO Nick Khan, reportedly met with Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger and ESPN President James Pitaro on Monday. Buddy, is WWE going Disney bound? Could that be it?
Who knows? I'm done trying to predict, trying to figure this shit out. It's one day it's this, the next day it's this. Tomorrow it was some other place. Who knows? They have relationships with all these main companies. They have a relationship with ESPN and ABC. They have a huge relationship with NBC and Universal. So who knows? Talking about Amazon and maybe Netflix trying to get into like a live streaming thing. Hulu they have a relationship with. They carry Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, they could go anywhere. I mean, I can't even fathom to guess.
It would be smart for them to go streaming, I think. Go to the way of the future. I think that would be a great move for them. There's also this little nugget that came out this morning, though. I don't know if you saw this one. This is from CNBC, actually. Wrestle Talk News at WrestleTalk_TV. This is the tweet from them. CNBC is reporting that Shad and Tony Khan are interested in merging AEW and WWE and are even open to discussing a role for Vince McMahon. It's fucking crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about here?
I know you make fun of me about this.
What are we talking about? I'm a father. What are we talking about? Merging? My kid?
No, seriously. This is the main question here. With all these string of tweets, I want to ask, what the fuck is going on with WWE?
Nobody knows, dude. Nobody fucking knows. Triple H had a meeting today. Whatever happens, creative plans are not changing. I'm using air quotes for those listening. There are I think 3 names in the top favorite of companies or potential buyers who want to keep Triple H and Stephanie on board and get rid of Vince. So that might play into the factor of who he signs the check signs off on.
Apparently, Vince McMahon today actually emailed some people in the company, like, "Hey, you're doing this wrong." Like Vince McMahon's already meddling, and for a potential buyer, if they're seeing that, that's not a good look.
That's why I wouldn't mind. Like I think it was ABC, Disney was one of them that doesn't want to keep him.
Right.
There's a tweet I saw online that I think the only way Vince McMahon could morally and morally take over creative from Triple H is if he does buy the company and they fire Triple H and he can just swip right in. Maybe that's his plan. I don't know what. I'm tired of trying to figure this out or trying to think about it. There's so much else going on. There's a new story every day. This week there's a new story every day. So who the fuck knows?
Literally, this was all throughout the course of the week. I mean, if you're a huge WWE fan like us, and of course, a good portion of you are if you're tuning into us, like this was an emotional roller coaster because the future of WWE is just so undetermined right now. Like from top to bottom, like I can only imagine what it must be like being an employee there. Apparently, morale has been really low.
I don't blame them. Who the fuck knows what's going on? I've been there. What the fuck is going on?
You're there right now, actually.
What? There's no answers. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. So I don't blame them for morale being low. Who knows, man? Who knows? It's just a clusterfuck. Again, there's also a caveat of they might not even sell. This could be one big storyline, one big ploy.
No. Do you really firmly believe that they're not going to sell?
What came out today that Triple H and Stephanie don't want to sell.
They didn't want to sell. That's one of the reasons why they didn't want Vince McMahon coming back. Yeah. That's his reason for coming back. So they're going to sell because Vince McMahon is full steam ahead here.
Match is over.
Like youth really
match is over.
What happened?
Do you want to know?
Tell me off the air.
Okay.
Tell me we're going to break. But yeah, this is what do you want to happen as a fan?
I've mentioned this numerous times because we had this conversation numerous times in the last several years. I don't want them to sell. It's a family-run company. They're doing a great job. Why sell? Keep everything in-house. You guys are running a fucking flagship organization here. Then Vince left, and everything was just amped up tenfold, which made the product even better. Now he's back on right now the board of directors, and that's just going to make things messy because he might just ooze on out to other things, like he's meddling in other departments, sending out emails, like he runs the ship. He's back to being CEO again. Right, because he can't help himself. This is his baby. You know, like exactly, you were mentioning before. You were mentioning before about you work in a company where there's a board, but like that person, the head of the board could be anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a founder of the company. You know, so like if this is Vince McMahon's baby, and he's a control freak, of course he's going to be meddling. Of course. Again, no one expected him to retire. Everyone thought he would come back, and he's back. What do I want to? I don't know. I want them to. It seems like they are going to sell. Odds are they are going to sell. I want them to sell to a company that's going to keep Triple H, keep Stephanie McMahon, let them be their own autonomous promotion, not meddle or get involved, and put the product somewhere I can see it. Disney Plus, Netflix, or to stay on NBC Universal and go to Peacock. I do not want the. I don't want them merging with AEW. That's not going to happen. No, like I don't think I don't think they should do it either. I don't think AEW should do it either. For me, I know you're getting shit on me for this, but I think that would be like the cons throwing the flag. We tried, wasn't that great? Let's buy out our competition. See, the cons throwing in the flag. I don't see that. Yeah, like we're trying our best at AEW. We're trying our best. You know, we just can't get there. But I still want to run wrestling. Damn it! Let me take over the biggest company in the world. I think if anything, it's a flex. It's a flex. Of anything. It's great. It's great PR for them to get their names out there, putting their names in the hat to buy WWE because it shows that they have that buying power, that they're on equal playing ground with WWE. It's a great PR move on their part, whether it's real or not. Their names are out there. The only I don't think it's real. I don't think it's a real possibility. I only brought it up because of the fact the CNBC reported it, and you don't get more legit than that. So I mean that's a pretty big deal. Vince McMahon would rather die tomorrow than sell it to a competitor. He's not going to give the cons that satisfaction of when he bought WCW. That would be the same thing pretty much. And can you imagine Vince did all this work to get to that point, to have a rival buy him out? No fucking way he would. He would rather die. WCW was a shell of itself. So when WWE bought it out because the company was selling, they're like, well, we're done with this. Let's get rid of it. Buy pennies on the dollar. Different circumstances, but it would be like a similar result, if you will. Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about. Same result. Because look what happened with WCW. They were on Raw a couple times, but then eventually they were gone. And what is really Tony Khan doing with Ring of Honor right now? Not too much. They're having a pay-per-view here and there. No, I don't see that happening. I didn't take it seriously, and I'm hoping it's not serious. No, I don't think it is serious. I maybe the cons are semi-serious about it. They're smart people. They know what they're doing. I think it's more for clout than anything. I think we all know there's no way Vince is going to sell to AEW. Do you think though, with all the negative press, because I'm a firm believer when there's smoke, there's fire. I don't necessarily think the whole Saudi thing was complete bullshit. No, they're still on the list. They're on the list, right? And I think there is a good possibility that this was leaked on purpose just to see what the reaction would be. That makes sense. That makes total sense. That's one of the reasons people think Stephanie left. I'm not dealing with Saudi Arabia. I'm done. Bye. I'm washing my hands of this. And that story made sense. Because who wants to deal with Saudi Arabia? Right. Especially a woman. Especially with powerful badass fucking woman. Yeah. Right. And that's another reason why it was so sad to see Stephanie step down and leave, because she's known as one of the most powerful executives in all of business. You know, the fact that she had to walk away from this, something that she's dedicated literally her whole life to, of course is serious.
It's serious business here. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Some of it is leaking, but there's a whole lot we don't know about.
Again, she left before this thing blew up for other reasons. So I'm hoping this is just her going back to that, not some serious like political clashing or drama with her father.
Apparently there's clashing. Apparently that's the reason why Nick Khan is so involved, is because there's a conflict between Stephanie and Triple H with Vince McMahon, business wise.
Yeah,
that's been reported. You know, Stephanie McMahon, when she first left, it was right before these allegations came out against Vince McMahon, and then he was ultimately forced to retire. And then she came back, 2 weeks after she took the sabbatical? Her whole reasoning as far as why she's taking a step back from an initial standpoint and to now, I mean, it's all PR stuff. It's all fluff. You know, she's not going to come out outright and say, like, fuck Vince. Mm-hmm. He fucked me over. I don't like what he's doing, because that can impact her. That can impact the company. That can impact any sale, what's going on. You know, I think, you know, she's out with the possibility of having a foot back in. It's a smart move.
She definitely has a foot back in. Obviously, she did, because she left again. She came back. Apparently, her reputation is really high in the company. Her reputation is probably high in the business world. So if Disney, Hulu, or NBC decide to buy it, they have a pre-existing relationship with her. They know what she can do. So we'll see what happens, man. Again, we can speculate till the cows come home, but there's no fucking answers. Tomorrow will probably be a different story. Tomorrow will probably be like Roger Goodell wants to buy it. Who knows?
Roger Goodell. No way. No way. I personally hope, and I've talked about it for a while, I personally hope it is Disney, just because of the fact that, like, I've seen what they did with Marvel, seen what they did with Star Wars. I mean, when they take something over, when they buy something, they put the right people in charge to run that shit. It's not necessarily like they're Elon Musk taking over and they clearly have no idea what they're doing. No, they know what they're doing. They know their resources very well. So I think Disney is the most trustworthy company that the WWE could sell to.
I think this is maybe the second or third time today, maybe 5 times this year, you mentioned Elon Musk in Twitter. Do you not like this guy? Like, do you have a beef with Elon Musk? Like, you keep bringing him up like this is your punching bag. Seems like you don't like this guy.
Well,
did he not hire you for a job? Did he take a job from you? Did he make you buy your fucking blue check mark?
To hear how I exactly feel about Elon Musk, you can tune in for a brand new podcast that I am launching called Go Brand Yourself from local media.
You didn't pay to clear that. You didn't pay me to clear that. No, that's a great name. I really told me that name is fucking awesome. So congratulations to you. Best of luck. Looking forward to my invite.
Yes, please do. You're more than welcome to come on.
Speaking of branding, I thought we were going to wear our What's Up Dog shirts today as a Unity.
I never got the memo.
I sent you a text, bro. Do you not buy yours? Did you not get yours yet?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, so
I never got the memo either.
You don't support what Sammy's doing in Syria, kids? Wow, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Wow. No, that's really fucked up. That's really fucked up, dude. It was a limited edition. Wow. I sent you a text. It only was available for 2 weeks on Pro Wrestling Tees. What's up, dog?
I literally never got that text.
Okay, sure. But as a father, I'm sure you couldn't.
As a father, I'm wearing a cardigan right now. So.
Again, like we talked about it last week, talking for like 20-something minutes tonight. The sale of WWE is a hot topic in our industry. Who knows? Again, we can speculate. There's rumors, what's true, what's not, what's leaked, what's false. Until we know some legit answers, we can talk to our blue in the face.
Right. And, like, you know, it's going to happen. Like, I think there's a 99% chance it's going to happen this year. And, you know, going back to, like, what happened.
Say by summer, maybe.
Probably by summer. Yeah, I think that's the goal. But, like, going back to the whole Saudi rumors, like, you know, people were talking about that was, like, a done deal. Like, that happened on the spot. Sales of businesses, especially of that nature, don't happen that fast. So that's why I kind of, like, was like, maybe this is not true.
Well, I don't think it was too much true, too, because maybe I wasn't sure if it was true or not, because somebody said Vince has been working on this since his retirement in the background. That's why he came back with such force, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm coming back to sell the company because he had a deal in place already. Like that, I could see that happening.
Right.
But again, not to Saudi Arabia, dude. Come on. Have some sort of scruples. I know you're a ruthless billionaire, but come on.
What is his end game? The dude is a billionaire.
Yeah.
He created a successful business.
Also, you're right, sexful.
Wouldn't you want to hand this down to your kids?
That's what I've been saying. I don't want him to sell because if it's family business, I want to see what Triple H and Stephanie can do. And there's a next generation of kids coming up.
They obviously were knocking it out of the park. That like, was he jealous that they were doing such a kick-ass job? Like, what is the deal? I don't understand what his motives are. You don't need any more money. But again, I'm not a billionaire. So, yeah, I haven't checked Lotto, but like,
shit, that's right. That's tonight. Damn. But there was rumors of selling before he left too. Before all the stuff, like for years, like a couple of years now, there's rumors of him selling, and that's something I never really felt why. There's no need to. But again, plus when he retired, quote unquote, everyone thought he's not really retired. Vince McMahon can't just sit by the poolside doing nothing. So if he sells the company, what are you going to do with yourself? I mean, odds are they're not going to keep you on.
And if he does, what are you going to do? If he does get kicked on, you have a boss now. You're not the boss anymore. Can you see Vince McMahon reporting to someone else?
No chance in hell.
Right? Yeah. Can you imagine Vince McMahon reporting to Bob Iger's office like, "Hey Vince, you got to change this up. We're not liking what we're doing." Like, oh god. Yeah. Like, no, I don't see that happening. He's got such a big ego. Why is this happening? Other than saying, fuck you to Stephanie, fuck you to Shane, fuck you to Paul Levesque. Like, what is going on? Fuck.
But
the man lost his mind. Oh, I needed that swig. Anywho.
What's up, dog? What up, dog?
Anywho,
Marcus.
I have an interview. My second interview of the year, and it is one of my favorite people in professional wrestling. She is a decorated woman all throughout every promotion she goes. She wins gold. All she does is win, no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Vicious Vicki.
Yes. What an introduction, Mark. I have to say, the most decorated woman. I am literally the best women's wrestler in the entire universe. Let's just put it that way. And I'm sticking with that because I believe that to be absolutely true. And 2023 is going to be the year for that. So you watch.
I feel like every year, like you just step up your game here as far as what you bring to the ring. Listen, there's no denying it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you that you're the best woman wrestler in the industry today. I'm not saying just indies. I'm saying in the industry, period. End of sentence. I firmly believe it. So, for new fans, casual fans, whatever, let's bring it back a bit here. We are no strangers to each other.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Back in BWF days, I had the luxury of getting to know you. I think it was your first year as a wrestler, right?
Yes, that was my first year.
And that was my first year doing commentary. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty cool. I got to call a lot of your matches there, and I bear witness to you winning your first championship there. Mm-hmm. And the boos were raining in. And I had a good feeling about you before, but like at that moment, I was like, this girl's a star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I am a star. I am more than a star could ever be a star. The problem is that the stars are clearly not aligning for said person because I am the star. It's all making sense to me now, like I'm trying to figure out why not me? Where's my shot? Where's my opportunity? I've done all these things. I've seen all these things. I've carried all the gold. What's going on? And well, to be fair, I think that there's a lot in store that maybe I can't share or won't share or will share, or I don't know. Everything's kind of, hiding in the back.
Well, this is a safe place here. We're in the nest, as I like to call it.
Yeah, so a little nest, a little circle of trust, if you will.
Exactly, circle of trust. Still the words right out of my mouth. So, why don't you share with us? I mean, I feel like 2022 was a tumultuous year for you. Mm-hmm. Like there are a lot of highs for you. There was a couple of lows as well. Let's dive into that a bit here. Like you started off the year, coincidentally enough, so your upcoming show, BCW Queen of the North 4. Last show, Queen of the North 3, you came into that injured that you had to be on commentary for.
Correct. Yeah. That wasn't easy for me. I appreciated all the work the women and men were doing in that said show. Yourself as well. Watching was great, and being able to call it was even cooler for someone like me to kind of be on the outside looking in. But
by the way, crushed it as well. Crushed it in commentary as well.
Are you surprised? Vicious Vicki is good at everything she does. That is just how it works. So I think you already know that. But with that being said, yes, it was very difficult for me to watch, everybody doing what they do best and what I do best, and just kind of, making names for themselves and elevating their careers, and they're at their absolute peaks is exactly where I was before I was injured. So to kind of be in the Queen of the North 4, and I think I was in the second one or the first one, I wrestled Raylan. And so I'm no stranger to this tournament. I'm no stranger to this, to this show. And I'm definitely no stranger to BCW. So I think for me, this time going around, I'll let you do the honors of explaining that more into detail. But I think this time going around, this is my moment to prove exactly why I am claiming myself to be the best women's wrestler in the entire universe.
Absolutely, because you are going to be a very big factor here in the next Queen of the North for BCW at Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, January 29th. Doors open at 2 o'clock. Tickets are on sale right now. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but let's talk a little bit more about your year, 2022. You, as I said before, decorated champion all throughout. You had to, because of injury, either give up belts, you lost belts, but then you had the high of being the last, was the musical called Last Wrestling Match?
The last match for wrestling.
The last match. Musical. Excuse me. You had the honors of being in that. Then you had the honors of being AEW Dark, which unfortunately did not air that part. Like it was just such a wonky year for you. Like talk to me a lot about that and how it affected your mindset and what that means for you going into this year. Yeah.
I mean, to be completely frank, the year started off where I was kind of hot. I was gaining momentum in the previous year, and I was on this high, and not only like in my own self, but within my fans, and whether they loved me or they hated me, I really still could give a damn. But, I had this momentum going, I was getting more opportunities. I was getting opportunities in higher places, except the companies I wanted to be in, but more and more opportunities. And, you just, one little thing you do wrong and you're out. I had like what I believed to have been a serious knee injury, which I'm, grateful for me that it was not.
Thank God.
Yes, but it was so bad that I was like, I'm out for a while, and I made the smart decision of what I normally wouldn't do, which would be to step away. And when I did step away, I'm watching, everybody get these opportunities and watching people on my television sets. And let me tell you something, I am very happy for people. I cheer for my friends. I cheer for my enemies. I cheer for everyone who gets, these things that they achieve, because that's what we're all looking for. And it's very cool. But at the same time, I was 100% sour and angry and bitter, because I'm sitting on the outside going, well, what the hell? Like, that should be me. And then when I came back, I had this momentum going, and I just lost it again. I couldn't find that fire, because I believed that, I don't want to say like what took me away from wrestling was going to happen again. But of course, there was that fear of it. And my arm went, in the middle of that too. I tore my labrum. So I was kind of like, oh my God, like now I'm dealing with this. And then I started getting a little momentum back and like getting belts back. And then I sprained my, my leg. It was like a domino effect. I sprained my left ankle. Bad.
So that's the thing. Anytime you seemed like you were gaining some momentum, it was just taken away. Like,
yes.
You were battling an uphill battle. It seemed like most of the year, and you still came out with a pretty strong year, like better than most, I would say.
I agree. Yeah, the ankle sprain would like set me over the edge, man. I was welcomed back to MCW. I was very excited to be back, and like the last couple seconds of the match, I even posted it like. I had to pull off shows, and I'm pulling the curtain back, man, because we all do this. Like, this whole thing of like feeling defeated, feeling down, feeling like, why is this happening to me? I was so depressed and so sad, and like it was awful, and I remember just thinking like, okay, like my ankle still hurts, like disclaimer, like don't not hire me because I'm injured, because I'm fine. But like, we're wrestlers. We have aches and pains, and things hurt all the time. Like if someone tells you they're not in pain all the time, they are full of shit.
Or they're not working.
Or they're not working. Right. I was like, because I'm in pain all the time. When you're in the ring, the adrenaline kicks in, everything. Fun fact though, when I had the musical, the very first showing of the musical, that was in September. I sprained my ankle September 26th. It was a Friday. Really bad, severe. Like I thought I broke my foot. I woke up the next morning. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even touch my toe to the floor, because like I thought it was terrible. It was terrible. So I'm like, I'm done. I broke my ankle. I'm done. severe sprain. Like I said, still hurts. September to now, still hurts. But I had the musical 2 days after that.
How'd you do it?
I did.
Yeah.
I pushed through it. I don't know how I did it. I took Tylenol every 6 hours. It was awful. Or actually, it was the next week, I believe, because I had shows. Yes, it was the next Monday. I was not ready. I didn't rest it enough. But I was like, I am not. That was probably the coolest thing I ever did in my life. Aside from the WWE tryout, going to the PC and experiencing that whole thing that I've talked about with you previously, that was cool. To be merging the world of Broadway and music. I mean,
it was so unique. I mean, it got play in the media. A, B, like, you're working with like credible people. You're working with Mickie James, Matt Cardona's involved. How can you not? Like, hey, is this thing together? I can still kind of walk. All right,
I told them all too. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, and my part is all probably like the whole thing, like 15 minutes ish. So it's not like I had to be in the entire play, but that was a big proportion of the show. I got stung by Matt Cardona, which was freaking awesome, by the way. And yes, I don't give a crap. I'm marking out for the major players. Okay, I think it's freaking great what they do. I was awesome. Okay,
sold it like a champ.
Oh, I tried. I didn't want to outdo it. You know what I mean? But very cool experience. But yeah, I did it all with a sprained ankle the first time. Awful. Pushed through it, man. And it's crazy because, like I said, like when you're injured or when you feel like these aches and pains and these dings, like your adrenaline is just so high that you don't feel it till after. Like I remember, like as soon as the show's over, my ankle was throbbing so bad. I was crying. Like I was like, it hurt so bad, but I did it, something I'll never forget. But going back to momentum and everything that happened in 2022, once I came back again, I was getting my belts back. Right now, I have my ICW women's title back. I have my IWA women's title back. So that's 2 out of 7, but I'm slowly trying to work my way back up and maybe even claim some new gold, man. That's my goal. I'm just trying to prove, and again, off the record in some sort of way, but trying to prove why I am the most overlooked, underutilized women's wrestler probably on the planet right now. I am, and it's not even a bitter thing anymore because I was when I was hurt. I wasn't bitter and mad because people were getting opportunities over me. It was within myself. It was like, I can't do it. I can't go out there and go and grab this shit by the balls and do it like I was when I first started. I was traveling on planes, going all over the place. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go. I was hurt. I was dealing with mental health, which has always been a struggle for me. And I'm finally at a good place with that, so it's like, man, like to have a new year and new beginnings and new opportunities that have been given to me and in front of me. Like this is my year. And I'm being honest, whether this ends up being true, because we're wrestlers, we're in wrestling, we do this shit all the time for some reason, where we give ourselves a time frame and we keep exceeding it. But I gave myself in September when I turned 29, I said, I'm giving myself another year. I was like, I'm going to take it more serious. Not that I didn't, but again, being injured, being out, I kind of got in that down, like depression spiral, if you want to call it that. But I told myself from September to September, I was like, I want to start making moves now. I was like, by the time I'm 30, if I don't have something in some way, like I'm gonna just give it up for a little bit and just like walk away.
Wow.
Is that a promise to myself? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's one of those. But I think giving myself that time frame, like I told myself when I started wrestling, I have 5 years now. I said, I'm at 5 years. If I'm not signed by 5 years, I'm done, because I want to move on to the next chapter of my life, which would be get married and have kids and a family and the lottie-dottie-dottie American dream. You know all about that.
A little bit. I know a little bit.
And people say don't do it, but at the end of the day, I think it's a beautiful thing. And yes, I think that's where I see myself as well. But that's not where I am right now. I'm, I have the best partner in the world. I have great family, and I'm young enough and able-bodied enough where I can still do this. So I'm not taking that for granted. I'm not taking any of that for granted. It's just a matter of how do I get there, and there were some things that happened that, again, I'll let you run the show, but there are a lot of things that happened here in this year that gave me hope. The musical being the first stop of that hope train, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. I mean, again, tumultuous, I think is the word that we can use for your year. Highs and lows, man. Highs and lows. I definitely can relate, but we're not here to talk about me. This is about you. So, one of the things that you did in BCW, another title, you won the Empress of Anarchy.
Yep.
And that was the last time we saw you in BCW. That was in what? The summer?
July, maybe.
Right.
I think
that was July.
Yeah.
So
the end of July.
Quite a gap here. Like, talk to me about that. Like, you win that opportunity. You're like, all right, so what's going to come of this? And then it's taking a few months here, but here we are, Queen of North 4. You're going to finally get your shot to get a championship, to cash this in, if you will, for the Grand Dragon Championship against Anthony Gangone.
Yeah. So I kind of had my moments with BCW. I'm just like, I don't understand, like, what's going on? What are we waiting for? I blew through Edith Surreal and Bonesaw Brooks like it was, nothing. So I'm just trying to understand, like, what was the point of that, right? I'm like, first of all, I think Empress of Anarchy is an awesome name. Second of all, what does it mean? I didn't understand. What did it mean? I asked AJ Pan, hey man, what is this about? I claimed said throne of what Empresses of Anarchies are, and I guess I'm one now. Then it was explained to me, what it is, and I have this opportunity to cash in that said title for an opportunity. So I kind of just sat back and watched and gave it my own little what do you want to call it, like observation and being smart about which direction I was going to go. And Anthony Gangone is easily one of the best on the scene right now. I am not going to deny that. I do. I think I can always give credit where credit is due, and I agree with that statement.
He's a magician in that ring.
Yeah, right. It speaks for itself. But with that being said, I was never big on intergender wrestling. That is a fun fact people know about me. It has nothing to do with men and women being in the ring or whatever. It's just a matter of I don't know. I just never thought it was appealing at first. Then I started dipping my toe in it a little bit more because I started realizing, like, hey man, you know what? Like, I am just as tough as these men, man. And us women in general are as tough as these men. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I had a couple bouts in Warriors, shout out to Warriors with Chris Steeler. We had a little storyline going and it was real. The story was real. That was the thing. They always say, like, storytelling, like our storytelling was real. This guy who I knew when I was a kid, who I used to watch wrestle and looked up to, and now I'm kicking his ass in the ring for taking his No Limits Championship. The same applies for Anthony Gangone when I was this green as goose shit wrestler, watching him and succeeding and doing all these things. And I'm like, man, he's really good. And like, even picking his brain sometimes if I want to, if I like him. But now it's like, it's at a point where that championship, because he's holding it, in my eyes, is prestigious, and I want it. So I feel like, with that being said, if I'm everything I touch turns to gold. I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it until I die. Everything that I touch turns to gold. That is just how it works. So I do have the Midas touch. So why not take that title and make it mine? I think it's a great Vicious Vicki, the Golden Dragon Champion. It's freaking great. I might even change the name of the championship belt. Who knows? You
just did. I mean, from Grand Dragon Champion, I like Golden Dragon Champion. I like that. And it's green. It's a green championship. I think it works well with you. You look great with that.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm for it, man. I'm for it.
I'm here for it. Well, yeah, that's a little fun thing I like to do. I'm starting to name things, give them their own names. Hey, at one point I might even have my own damn Dundee Award. Okay, that's how prestigious and cool that I am. Okay.
We're just going to make awards for you because that's how damn good you are.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why no one's done it yet, but we'll see. I'm
surprised I didn't see you in the Golden Globes yesterday.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're robbed.
I did get robbed. No pun intended. Anyway, I'll be here all night.
Amen to that. Well, Vicious Vicki, I personally cannot wait to see this match. I do hope I get to do commentary for this one because it is a match that is I know people use the words must see, but there's no other words for this. This is must see. Anthony Gangone.
This is marquee matchup. This is Queen of the North. No disrespect to any of the women, any other man on the card. Everyone's gonna kick ass. We all do. That's what we do. But this is definitely must see match of the night. This is marquee. This is main event. This is this is that match. I've had people say things to me too, like, Vicki, I can't wait to see that match. And I was like, oh, you better watch it because I'm going to be walking away with that championship. I am very convinced that I'm going to make Anthony Gangone tap out.
You're not even going to pin him. You're going to make him tap.
I'm going to make him tap out.
Oh, hell, girl.
Uh-huh.
I'm here for this.
I'm going to make him tap out.
Mark her words, ladies and gentlemen. Vicious Vicki is not only going to win the Grand Dragon Championship, she is going to make Anthony Gangone, the great Anthony Gangone, tap out. Strong words, and I am
and
here
people
for it.
can't get weird about this, and I'm going to say this because if you do, it is what it is. You're weird, but I'm going to make him submit to another woman, and no, it won't be Valentina.
Mic drop. With that, we're going to kick things off back to Michael J. Putty for a TV takedown. Vicious Vicki, much love, and I cannot wait for January 29th. Queen of the North 4. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours today.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
Always a pleasure having Vicious Vicki on our show, man. What an incredible performer, man. She always knocks it out of the park in the interviews, her promos, and most of all, inside the ring. I cannot wait to see what she does against Anthony Gangone in that match of BCW Queen of the North 4 for the Grand Dragon Championship. You know, she's never won gold in BCW, man. Like, this could be it.
You've been high on Vicious Vicki since our commentary days and other promotions. One of her first matches.
Yeah. You know, we talked about that, man. Just because, like, I saw something in her right away. I was just like, there's something about her. Like, she's got that je ne sais quoi, right?
Yeah.
She has that it factor. And I saw it right away. And then what really cemented it, that feeling, was when she won her first championship, the BWF Women's Championship at BWF. And it was a packed crowd.
Packed house,
the
multi-woman
match. Right. The boos that she got. And she reined it in, man. She took it all in. And it was just such a cool moment to see. Like, she owns it. She owns it, man.
She's a badass. She's a badass female wrestler.
She is.
Now as a girl dad. Does that make you feel differently about her? Now that you're a father to a girl, does that make you like feel more of a connection to her and her success?
Absolutely. I think I said something along those lines to her in private about, like, you know, when I found out I'm having a girl, like, you know, I hope she's as badass as you. Something to the effect of that.
What are we talking about here?
Okay. All right. You gonna make a pull string doll of me with like these different sayings?
Oh, that's great. I'll get the AJ pin.
Oh, God, of course you would.
Mark, you told me to tell you off air. Oh, by the way, thank you, Vicious Vicki. I love your interviews. Thank you for your time. You told me to tell you off air, but I'm going to tell you now on air the match results. The main event of Hard to Kill and new Knockouts Women's Champion, Mickie James. Congratulations to her.
Holy shit!
The last rodeo will continue. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Let's cheers to her.
That is
last
amazing,
rodeo.
man. Last road. Cheers to Mickie James. Here it is. Impact Wrestling. She did it. Mickie James is the new Knockouts World Champion. Incredible, man.
Something I've been saying for the last almost half a year now since Impact moved over to Friday night live events. Antoine Parrish at the Mo 85. Really, Impact Wrestling? Why do you pick tonight to have a pay-per-view on SmackDown and Rampage? You're like, come on, nobody's going to watch that. Why do you do it on Saturday night? SMH, LOL. Agreed, dude. Agreed. I've been saying that for months now. Come on. I would have watched that tomorrow night. But anyway.
Same. So, Mickie James, dude, did you see that happening? Like, did you think that she was going to win the championship tonight?
I think we talked about it a while ago. I think I said yes, because I don't think Hard to Kill is a spot she wants to ride out in the sunset, unless it was Deonna Purrazzo, like we talked about months ago.
That's right. Yeah.
Hard to Kill isn't there. It's one of their 4 pillar pay-per-views, not the top 2. I don't see her going out on unless it's like a big grand stage to give her what she deserves. So let's see how this last rodeo goes on for. But congratulations to her. However, I noticed she won it tonight, Friday the 13th of January. You know what that means, Marcus?
No, I don't.
2 weeks from now, could we see her come back as Knockouts champion at the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row?
Do you think that can happen?
No.
You think that could happen?
No.
That would be awesome.
Not 2 years in a row. Then I'll become gimmicky. But I just thought it'd be funny that the timing just matches up.
It does match up pretty well, doesn't it? But, with Mickie James, I honestly, going into tonight, I thought initially, I was like, she's probably going to lose because there were a lot of familiar faces at Impact tonight at Hard to Kill. A lot of people that throughout her career that she's gotten to know very well, that she's worked with closely. So I was thinking like, oh, this is like a kumbaya type of deal. Like, she loses, she's out, she's done, her career's over, she retires. So this people coming together say goodbye. But no, dude, that was a great swerve. Did not see that one coming. So what does this mean now? Is she here to stay? Is she not going to retire?
I'm not sure. I'm seeing these clips. I'm seeing her kids celebrating in the ring. Her family's in the ring. Victoria, Lisa Marie's in the ring. I'm not hearing commentary saying, because we're obviously doing the show, she started from the ground up again, and if she lost the match, she's retiring until she gets a Knockouts Championship opportunity. Not only did they got the opportunity, but won the Knockouts Championship. Does that stipulation go forward? Like, next time she loses, next time she drops the belt, is she done? I think that's the case. I gotta wait till Thursday on Impact Wrestling on Access TV. Check it out. It's good fucking shit. Really good stuff. See what they say then. But
this was her own doing. This wasn't necessarily brought down upon management. This wasn't like a punishment for her. She's the one that brought this up.
Storyline was, this was her. Like, she lost. She kept losing, but by vicarious means. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to start from the ground up, earn my opportunity again at the Knockouts Championship. And she did. She started facing nobodies. Then she started facing the competition. And then here we are. Never lost.
It's like my career mode in WWE 2K.
Pretty much, yeah. So it seems like she's here to stay. For how long, I don't know.
It's a great storyline.
Again, I can't see her going till Slammiversary, which is their second biggest show. The biggest one is Bound for Glory. Maybe she loses it at Slammiversary and gets inducted to the Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory. I mean, I just don't know.
But then would that mean she's a paper champion, though? Like, it's
again,
Mickie James we're talking about
maybe.
Here. She's got to have a decent run.
What is paper champion? Because, that's in July. That's 6 months, 7 months. That's not a bad run.
But how often is she defending in between there?
And she's beaten everybody already on the roster. That means you have to involve new people in the mix. And tonight, they also crowned a new Knockouts champion, number one contender, which I don't know how that bodes for Mickie James, the relentless Masha Slamovich.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Which I would not want to face. That's a tough matchup for her. She did not face her on her road part of the last rodeo. So it'll be the new, fresh matchup, which I'm excited to see. Masha Slamovich, a woman we've called matches for. I'm really fun to say that.
Yeah, no, it really is. Like, I've been following her career like before and after.
Yeah.
It's been really awesome to see. She's every bit as advertised.
Damn right.
Calling her matches live, like she can go. She's one of the best wrestlers I have seen live.
And she's scary in the ring too.
Yeah.
And she's scary outside the ring. I think she made you pee your pants one time. You tried to say hi, and she gave you a look, like made you flinch.
We don't talk about that here.
Wow.
Moving on.
How long is this going to last? I don't know. I mean, how long? You said make her a paper champion. What do you think would be too short of a reign for her? Is 6-7 months too short?
It depends. Like, is she consistently defending during that time? Does she have at least at least one title defense a month?
Most knockouts champions do.
Okay.
Knockouts championship has been defended pretty frequently, much more than knockouts tag team championships. But yeah, that's pretty mainstay. Yeah. So I'm not worried about her going away for 2 months and then coming back to randomly defend it. I'm not worried about that.
Right. So then, I think that's a pretty fair run, if anything. Like, if she defended once or twice and then that's it, it's over. Then that's a paper champion in my eyes.
But that goes back to our original suggestion for Hard to Kill 2 months ago. Is Deonna Purrazzo the one to take her title off her, passing the torch, so to speak? Not that Deonna needs a torch passed to her, till she's blazing her own path, so to speak. I think that would be a nice moment.
I don't necessarily know if Mickie James is retiring anytime soon. Part of me thinks this was just is all storyline. Yeah, not necessarily a ploy, but a storyline, and a very effective storyline.
I hope so.
He has everyone talking. Because, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, how often does Impact trend? Mickie James has been bringing more eyes to Impact because of this storyline alone.
I've noticed their live events do trend, but this is way higher and more frequently because of the Mickie James match. Even when the show started kicking off, it was Full Metal Mayhem, Josh Alexander defending against Bully Ray. A phenomenal match from what I've seen on Twitter, the clips I've seen. I think I might reorder the pay-per-view just to watch the replay. Joe Hendry versus Moose, I heard it was an amazing match. But everyone's talking about this match since 8 o'clock, even 7:30. This is the match. I can't wait. I'm counting down to this match. So maybe that's right. But
I feel like this actually surpassed SmackDown as far as like, people talking about this. And SmackDown typically trumps anything Impact does.
Of course.
But, this is a huge deal. Like, we're talking about not an Impact legend, but a wrestling legend. Mickie James possibly retiring.
SmackDown was number 1 tonight, but Impact, I think, crept up to like 3rd or 4. That's pretty huge for them. I guess SmackDown.
The hashtag SmackDown itself was trending, but like, if you were to see the topics that people are talking about, it's kind of vanilla. Like the real meat and potatoes, people were talking about Mickie James. That was the real conversation going on there.
Congratulations to her. I'm happy she won, but I didn't want to see her retire. Let's see how long this rodeo will last, Marcus. Hoping you're right.
Let's keep it going, baby.
I'm hoping you're right.
Let's keep it going.
She's still killing it, so she still has gas up in the tank.
She's on her A game.
Yeah.
She's on her A game, man. Honestly, like anytime I see her do what she does, I really feel like more and more WWE just completely dropped the ball with her, and it's such a shame because she could clearly go, and she could clearly hold her own, becoming like a main event player, and WWE just made her like a side piece character. Like it was frustrating.
Yep.
So kudos to Mickie James. Glad to see you get your shine, becoming the Impact Women's Champion once again. This is awesome.
Knockouts.
Good night. Knockout champion. Sorry. Hello, once a minute here. Sorry. But moving on here, Putty. Let's go to all the way to the beginning of the week, Monday Night Raw. So what people were talking about that with there was Alexa Bliss cutting that promo with Uncle Howdy coming out. Sportskeeda Wrestling at SK Wrestling _ It's a quote by Alexa Bliss. Bianca doesn't need to be afraid of Bray Wyatt or Uncle Howdy. She needs to be afraid of me. Strong words by Alexa Bliss. Don't know really what to make of the whole Uncle Howdy thing coming out, but I will ask you this, Putty. Can this version of Alexa Bliss find her way back to being champion once again?
Absolutely. Can I say that? Because any version of Alexa Bliss can find her way back to being champion. Alexa Bliss.
Any version?
Yeah.
Any version. Okay, go on.
Alexa Bliss is great. She was the first time Raw SmackDown Women's Champion. Her resume speaks for herself. I think Alexa Bliss is fan-freaking-tastic. This just adds more of a storyline, more of a crowd-pleasing focal point because everyone loves Bray Wyatt. Oh, she's part of back. She's back with the Fiend. Is she back up in the family? The Uncle Howdy thing definitely elevates her on the roster level, but Alexa Bliss did not need this to become a champion again. Definitely helps.
Okay.
Doesn't need it.
Definitely helps. Or it could hurt. Like, we don't know what his intentions are and what's going on here. We don't know what's going on with Uncle Howdy with Bray Wyatt, really. We don't know what's going on with her with Alexa Bliss. Well, him with Alexa Bliss.
Like, he said it tonight. He is Uncle Howdy. So what does that mean?
That was a weird comment.
So
that was a weird comment.
Did he attack himself?
I don't understand that.
I sent it to you tonight. There was a promo of like, Bray Wyatt coming up next. And through the screen flickers, and there was a fucking QR code. And that QR code left to fucking Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse turning to the Fiend. Like, that was like 2 years ago. So
I don't know
what they're going on with this, but
it's starting to get a little too confusing.
Yep.
I think they need to like reel it in a little bit more and take a next step forward here on what this next chapter is, because something has to happen in Royal Rumble and something big has to happen for this to pay off. You know, if this is still to like a to be continued type of deal, then I think fans are starting to lose interest, and I think they'll definitely lose interest if something big doesn't happen by the Royal Rumble.
Because again, you mentioned it again, still in your memory. Alexa Bliss and the Fiend had some beef, right? She turned on the Fiend or whatever happened at WrestleMania, but the Fiend's not here anymore. So is she still having some sort of connection with Bray Wyatt? And how's Uncle Howdy filled in? Now that Uncle Howdy is Bray Wyatt, but then we see them together in the same ring, and Uncle Howdy attacked Bray Wyatt.
But isn't it Bo Dallas?
Yeah, that's what it was seemed to be. Eagle Eye reviewers say that's Bo Dallas. So what the?
But like, or it's just Bo Dallas being like a stunt double, and it is Bray Wyatt. What is going on?
It can't be Bray Wyatt because if he's Uncle Howdy, how did he attack himself? Makes no sense. And here we are talking about Alexa Bliss, yet we're talking about Bray Wyatt.
Right.
It's just
right. Is that a problem? That's a problem, isn't it?
I think so.
Unless there's some sort of, I mean, obviously there's going to be a tie-in. Like something has to happen to either get them to feud against each other or have them reconnect. Like there's still something there. I mean, not for nothing, it was all completely unresolved anyway, right? Yeah. I think there needs to be some sort of closure for that storyline. Maybe that's why they're bringing it back. So if that's the case, then maybe Alexa Bliss doesn't beat Bianca Belair. Maybe she doesn't. This version of her doesn't win a championship, even though she definitely deserves it. And I questioned what you said before about, like, any version of Alexa Bliss can be champion. I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan. I also found the latest version of her, as like, Bianca's friend, Asuka's friend, like, she was just in the background. She really didn't stand out at all. And I think part of it is because, like, she didn't necessarily understand what direction she was going.
All that happened when Triple H took over, though.
Right, that did happen. Which I'm not saying like this is a Vince McMahon problem.
So I think this was no, I'm not saying that. I think this was chess. Like Triple H said, do this, and let's think 4 steps ahead. He knew he's bringing Bray Wyatt back, so let's give Alexa Bliss some sort of background character, some sort of not really much to her, and then people maybe forget about her. She's Alexa Bliss. She's Bianca Belair's sidekick. Not give her too much momentum, not give her too much credibility, so people forget about her and how great she is. So when we bring the Fiend back and the storyline intersects again, people can be like, "Oh shit, that's right. Alexa Bliss is fucking awesome."
No,
so I'm looking forward to her.
Valid point.
So if that is true, props to them and creative. That was and props to her for dealing with that. It was great.
I mean, clearly that's what it was. Yeah, I think you hit it right in the head. That's exactly what it was. So, I mean, it's going to be a good match. I'm curious to see how this progresses and what happens next with the whole Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt, Fiend, whatever have you, and to see how Alexa Bliss transforms, I guess, will be interesting to see. But moving on here to NXT. Unfortunately, NXT kind of got trumped with like the whole Stephanie McMahon, Saudi rumors going on that day with the news. But
good show, though. It was New Year's Evil. Great show. Great matches. Please don't sleep on NXT.
And that's the shame of it, because it got overshadowed. Even the Golden Globes got overshadowed by all these news, which was on a Tuesday night, which was very random. Anywho, _ Banks Prescott talked about Toxic Attraction, which found its way to be trending at some point after all the chaos that was going on. She says, "We're getting a triple threat. I have a feeling that Toxic Attraction is going to split very soon." This was after Toxic Attraction won that Royal Rumble to get the number 1 contender spot here against Roxanne for the NXT Women's Championship. Putty, what do you think? I mean, this was kind of like a Royal Rumble 93. Was it 93 finish? 94?
I think 93.
Years here, but
yeah,
93, right.
I thought it was well done. I mean, again, we see this before happen. I think it was Big Show and The Rock, I think, where they didn't sync up. These women landed exactly the same time. It was
Batista and Cena, I think, too, right?
Maybe you're right, yeah. But they landed synchronistically. It was great. And the way they did it, the way they were celebrating in the ring, and then Jessie Jane was like, that face just turned, and it led to them beating each other up. Is this the end? I don't think so. But I'm saying that because I don't want it to be end, because if it's not the end, where do they go from here as a tag team? I think they need that third person.
The whole Mandy Rose getting fired thing really messed them up.
Absolutely. It definitely hurt them. And they're great performers, and they were just great because of the stable that was Toxic Attraction. Now it's just them two, who I think they were doing pretty good on their own. Maybe 1 or 2 matches before Mandy Rose came into the picture. But can they go one-on-one? Could this be a feud? Could this be a rivalry? Who's the face? Who's the heel here? Because the crowd seemed behind Jessie Jane. The crowd was chanting her name. The crowd seemed to be fully behind her for some reason. Whatever it was, okay.
She's someone that could play a face pretty well. Gigi Dolan, I'm not too sure. I think she leans more heel than anything else.
Possibly.
But like, I feel like, yeah, Mandy Rose getting fired definitely screwed everything up, because they were geared to be like this major women's faction, a la the Shield, right? Yeah. And it seemed probably like the goal to eventually bring the main roster together. Eventually, they dominate to do their thing, and then maybe eventually however Gigi does and Jace does, like, maybe then they all 3 of them like do their own thing. Because beforehand in the indies, like, these 2 women here were fantastic competitors, but it's a whole different game when you go from the indies to WWE. You have to like learn these different ropes, and Mandy Rose obviously was teaching them very well here, and they're catching stride in NXT. But it just seems like they didn't follow through all the way because of the fact of, well, Mandy Rose fired, so now what? It's sink or swim right now for them, I guess.
I think this is what they're doing.
Right.
Sink or swim. If their feud, if them fighting each other wins the crowd over and they're during this triple threat, that might lead to something. If the crowd's behind both of them, maybe they'll keep them together. There could be a litmus test of who the crowd likes more going forward. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping this is not the end because I love these women together. In a division that's lacking female tag teams, I think they're one of the standouts of that NXT women's tag team division.
Oh, absolutely. They've done such a fantastic job as a team. Like, it would be a shame to see them split up, but at the same time, like, eventually it's going to happen, right? It just seems like it's. Yeah. What else can they do right now?
It's going to happen eventually, unless they bring them to the main roster together. Because again, that tag team division needs solid tag teams too. But they tried it out in SmackDown once or twice and didn't work out too well, apparently, according to backstage reports. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think this is the end. I'm trying to be optimistic here. Let's keep them together. Do they recruit a third member?
And that's what I was going to say. Like, maybe they have like another person coming. Like, there were some speculation. I mean, Chelsea Green is signed. They just don't know what they're doing with her. Could Chelsea Green be the one to lead them?
That was my first thought.
That would make sense.
That was my first thought. My second thought was maybe Dana Brooke, because she's not doing anything.
Dana Brooke's not doing anything. Sonya Deville came in at one point.
That's true.
With them, I think that could work. And Mandy Rose, she was interviewed earlier this week in a mainstream media and talking about a possible WWE return. And she said, "Never say never." Obviously she's hurt by what happened.
Of course.
She's clearly made her bag since then, becoming a self-made millionaire with her not OnlyFans. Was it her own website?
Fan Army, Fan Zone. I don't know. If you guys know, you know.
Whatever. You know. But
clearly we
she
don't.
didn't necessarily close the door there on that. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways you're going to go here.
And she said I didn't see the interview. I taped it because I knew it was happening, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. I've seen clips online since. She is willing to give up that site to come back if the conversation is fruitful. So that shows her passion for this business. I'm hoping Triple H is willing to listen.
If the conversation is fruitful.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, you read between the lines there. Hey, this is what I'm making with my OnlyFans or OnlyFans-like site. Are you going to pay me the same? Is my contract going to be the same as that?
But could we have a compromise? How about you pay me, for example, $500,000 a year, but I keep my site. But I don't post nudes. I don't do the cock ratings. I don't do any implied nudity. I just do lingerie or swimsuits. Could that work? Because that's not risque. That's not inappropriate. So I can make some money off that. They need to have an open conversation about that. I'm hoping it works out for her. I want to see her back sooner rather than later.
No, of course. I think we all do. And I think especially Toxic Attraction does. Because right now, as I said, I think this match coming up is very much a test of like sink or swim for them.
Now as a father, how do you feel about the OnlyFans sites?
Oh, God.
I'll just move on. I'm just fucking
Oh, God.
We're running short on time. Please, one more story, Marcus. Let's wrap things up.
All right, going to AEW. AEW was a big deal this week. I mean, they were talking about the show for weeks, almost over a month. I think they've been talking about this, coming up with Saraya and her mystery partner facing Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, right? And who was it? Who was the partner? Everyone thought it was going to be Mercedes Mone, right? Or Sasha Banks, rather. But no, it was Toni Storm.
She announced like 2 weeks ago.
Still, there was hope, right? Still, there was hope that maybe something would happen, that Mercedes Mone would find her way into this match. Well, it didn't happen. Moonlight Graham at Reese Kelly G. I think it goes without saying that was an all-time pay-per-view quality AEW Dynamite. No Mercedes Mone was the only miss, and that's only because AEW smart fans are conditioned to look for teases in everything. The signs were there. It just didn't happen. Wonderful show. I agree that, that was a great show all around. The match itself was a quality match. It was great to see Saraya coming to her own again, becoming the old Paige that we knew and loved, to seeing that confidence come back in the ring. So that was fantastic to see. But, fans were very disappointed. There were a lot of boos at one point. The fact that when they thought Mercedes Mone was coming and it didn't happen, it was a tease for AEW Rampage. Putty, your thoughts on this? Does AEW need Mercedes Mone on their roster?
Why were they disappointed? It was announced again 2 weeks ago. She picked Toni Storm. We knew it was going to be Toni Storm. Why are you disappointed? Because they didn't give you what you wanted?
Apparently there was some teases along the way. Britt Baker cut a promo,
whatever.
yada yada. There was some of that. There was some breadcrumbs.
To quote the legendary Justin Timberlake, "Cry me a river."
Ooh, okay.
I said Sasha Banks to come back to WWE. I think she needs to go back to WWE. to finish it, just to get some sort of closure here.
Why do you say that, though? You said I feel like you're talking about it as a fan of WWE, but like,
no,
why exactly?
Because just the way she left, get some sort of closure. Just like lose the belts respectfully. Just get some sort of closure. I just don't like the way she left.
Couldn't you say the same about CM Punk though? The way how he left to have some sort of closure.
AEW?
Like I feel like
with AEW?
No, it's WWE.
No, because he never got suspended. He never left as champion. He left. His contract was up. It was done.
CM Punk's contract was his contract was not up.
Was WWE? He didn't get fired. He didn't get released. WWE. He didn't get suspended.
He left. Right. He walked out.
You talking about Money in the Bank?
No. I'm talking about like when he actually left.
I'm sorry. Okay,
for good.
Took his ball and went home.
Yeah. Like, would you say the same about that he needs that closure?
No.
Like, what's the difference?
I don't think he was champion. That's a fucking good question, Marcus. I think he should come back to AEW for closure because he was champion when he left. So I think maybe the championship might be playing in. I need to give more time on that because I thought he left. His contract was up, so I need to think more about that. But I think he needs to come back to AEW to close that storyline. I would like to see him back. I'm not a Punk fan, but I'd like to see him back in AEW. Just to some sort of cap that off. I don't think she needs to go to AEW. Does AEW need her? Yes.
Yeah, that's the question. Does AEW need her? Really? Why?
Yes, for that mainstream, more international star to get, because anything Sasha Banks does or Money does, people are talking about. Just her to go to AEW, especially with the way she left WWE, people would talk. That would put more eyes on that product. Again, that's a floundering division that last year, maybe year or so, have done a great job rebuilding themselves, and this would only add more to it.
I hear what you're saying. Mercedes Mone is a star. There's no denying that.
She doesn't need AEW, but I think AEW could benefit from her coming there.
No, Mercedes Mone doesn't need any single promotion. She clearly can make a name for herself and be fine. However, I will say this, going to the point of AEW, does AEW need her? No. I don't think they need her. I think she would be a great get. I think they would want to have her. She should be a luxury to have, for sure. Any company would be lucky to have her. But do they need her? No. Saraya, I think Saraya is a name in herself that brings eyes to the company. I think Saraya has a lot of prestige. What's up?
I need to interrupt you here. I'm sorry to say this, but you're right. That was my original thought when I first read this. Like, you're right. That's what I meant to say. So I agree with you.
You agree with me?
Yeah, exactly. You saw the words, my original words out of the mouth, which I totally blanked on because I'm taking too much shot at wrestling. But yeah, that's exactly right. Because I think they don't need her. Nobody needs her. You're right. Good job.
I mean, nobody needs her.
Congratulations,
I'm not saying nobody needs her.
Nobody needs her.
Nobody.
Every company has a great women's division. She would add to any division she joins, any company she joins. But right now, you mentioned a couple weeks ago when we first had this conversation, how W just moved on flawlessly without her. Yeah, they did. They didn't skip a beat.
They did.
AEW's been rebuilding again. You said Saraya. She's put eyes on that product. I don't think anybody needs Monet here, Money, whatever the fuck she's called. Nobody needs her.
Impact would need someone like that. You don't think so?
She would have fit in that division. She's too big of a fish in that pond.
Fair enough. I don't think that's Impact a real option for Mercedes.
No, if Impact was on like even a B-list network or a streaming service, maybe.
I think they would bank themselves getting her. That's also what I would think.
I don't think they have the money for that either. So nobody needs her. Is where she wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, she's a luxury.
I agree with you, so I think the conversation's over. Quit while you're ahead.
Okay. That's amazing. Awesome. Done.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, again, I mean, like, I think when people say Mercedes Mone is needed in AEW, I think that is a slight in Saraya, because Saraya is a name in herself. That's what I was trying to say. Saraya brings so much to that company, like on TV and behind the scenes, that could help elevate the division. I think Britt Baker is on her way to become a star. She's obviously been like a main pillar in that company since AEW has been born. But like, I think with the help of Saraya, like her, Jade Cargill, Tony Storm's coming to her own, Thunder Rosa when she comes back, there's a lot of different names coming into there that this division could be fire.
I don't see how a Mercedes Mone, however it's pronounced, exists on the same roof with Jade Cargill. I think that's the Jade Cargill is their Mercedes Mone. She has a look, the walk, the in the ring content. I think they don't need her because they have Jade Cargill.
That's a great point.
Well, I think
That's a great point.
now that
And Jade Cargill, it comes cheaper right now. She's like on that rookie contract deal, if you will.
I think you can't have both women under the same roof because Jade Cargill is on another level.
Although I think many people would love to see that match.
Oh, hands down. I'll fucking pay money right now to see that match. I think it'll be a great match. I just don't see that happening in AEW.
Do you think the door is closed? Do you think that the whole idea that she was rumored to come but didn't, you think that the door is closed? Like that's it? She's not coming to AEW?
WWE does not need Sasha Banks. AEW does not need Mercedes Mone, money, whatever it's called. But neither door is closed. The ball's in her court. Whatever she wants to do, she wants to come back, negotiations are there. If AEW's there, it's just what paycheck speaks for it, what storyline fits. I think no door is closed. It just...
Although, would she want to come back to WWE with what's going on right now? Like, if you're a free agent right now, right? And she is indeed a free agent. That is confirmed.
Is she? I think she's under contract with NJPW.
Or she has a working deal with New Japan.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you're on the outside looking at you're looking at what's going on in WWE right now, why would you want to go there right now?
One of the things I thought of, too. If you don't know what's going on with creative, it hurts with everything going on right now. So let's stay in Japan for another, 3 months?
Right. Like, I'd ride it out in Japan if anything. Or like if AEW makes a great offer, then fuck it, I'll go to AEW. Or hell, I'll do my own thing. Like she's got her own company. She's got so much things, so much going on for her, like outside of wrestling that she can do. She may not even need wrestling. I think this is probably more like just something she likes to do. I'm excited to see what happens with her in 2023. Like, it's gonna this could be her year.
So I woke up to the news. I forget what day it was. Whatever that show happened. I'm like, oh, she came back. Monet. All right. I didn't really care. I watched a clip because I feel like I had to. Mm-hmm. I didn't really care. This whole thing, Sasha Banks, I think I mentioned a little overrated. But after Impact is New Japan Wrestling on Access TV, AXTV, Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Check it out. Local listings. And they are playing Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom.
Apparently that's already match of the year.
Yeah. So I recorded
Pack it in, everyone.
I recorded that show because, maybe they'll show the Mercedes Mone money segment.
Is it money or Monet?
I think it's money.
Is it money?
I heard the clip, they're saying money, but I don't know if that was just the white guy saying it, and it really is Monet, but I think money makes more sense because of the bank.
Mercedes money?
Yeah.
Mercedes money. Okay. My bad.
So I the show ended, I went back to watch, and I realized I'm watching this just to see this clip again that I saw already, which means, this is a draw. She isn't overrated. She is a talking point, a must-see moment. So, so I apologize for anything negative I said about her in the next couple months. And
I think
the world's oyster.
It just came from a bitter place, I think, from you. I think you're real salty the fact that she left.
I don't think so.
You're hurt.
I don't think I was salty.
You're hurt. You're hurt.
I wasn't her biggest fan either there, but I think I was underestimating her draw appeal.
I not to sit here and say like I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan. Like, I think she's incredibly talented.
You have your poster behind you. That's why you blurred your background.
No, like I'm not like number one in her fan club or anything. But I would say this: Mercedes Mone. I've never Mercedes Money, Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her. I have never doubted her star appeal. I have never doubted what she can do. I would never call her underrated. I think if anything, like she lives up to her name every single time. She is incredible at what she does. She even after WWE, like she's elevated herself to such a level, which is, I think, amazing. Goes to show like the work that she's put in to herself, to her brand, to surpass WWE. So kudos to her.
Anything else trending this week? We good?
We are good, my friend. We are ready to wrap things up here.
Hey, that's my line. There's definitely more things I want to talk about on TV, but I guess we'll wrap things up, Mark. Any go-home thoughts for you?
Well, there is a BCW show coming up, Putty, right? Did you know this?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I'll go fuck myself.
That's my line again.
Queen of the North 4, January 29th at Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. It is going to be a banger, man. Vicious Vicki is going to be facing Anthony Gangone for the Grand Dragon Championship. I am pumped for this matchup, man. It's a marquee match. Thank you so much for Vicious Vicki for coming on to this show for an interview. Nothing but love. Nothing but love for the Vicious one. As far as me, buddy, I think go home thoughts.
As a father.
Look, as a father, As a father, I have to say, man, like, people don't tell you, dude, like, being a dad, it's fucking hard.
Yes.
Like they don't tell, they tell you about all this stuff, like, like, hey, like, you're not gonna have time for yourself, blah blah blah, like,
Or your friends,
things
or karaoke,
change,
or hanging out. Yeah.
right, like, priorities change. But what they really don't tell you, I feel like I'm gonna open up here a little bit, if you mind. I feel like I have been going through a bit of an identity crisis, if you will.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I feel like my daughter's 8 months old right now, which, it sounds like a short bit of time. Like it seems like a yesterday she wasn't even in this world, but yet long enough where it feels like it's been 10 years already, and she's still only 8 months. It's a weird period of time. Time is really all fucked up for me at this point. But I feel like part of me is still like holding on to, like, who I was before she was in my life. But then, like, looking at her, I just feel like I'm only, her dad. But I'm still more than I'm still an actor. I'm still a wrestling personality. I have my own business. Like, it's just so weird right now. I feel like seriously, it's like a identity crisis. I don't necessarily know who I am anymore because of the fact that I'm just so focused on being her dad, but yet still trying to hold on to what I was before, and I'm trying to find a way to, get those two together lined up. It's a weird time.
Yeah, you are her father. You're the strongest male role model in her life. You're her first love. But also remember, you are professional wrestling. You wanted to be professional wrestling, you are professional wrestling. So don't sell yourself short down that river, my friend.
Well played, my friend. Well played. Thank you. I needed that. Cheers.
Really, that's what I'm here for.
What about you, my friend? Any go-home thoughts for you?
I wanted to get into this with TV. The college championship happened. Georgia dominated TCU, I believe, which means
Dominated.
your boy, our boy, really, Pat McAfee should be coming back soon to SmackDown.
Correct.
We have 5 days during the week. We have 6 wrestling shows. One of my favorite commentators for the last 2 years, has been Wade Barrett. And I feel he's done a fucking amazing job on SmackDown. I love listening to Wade Barrett, and his chemistry interactions with Michael Cole are pretty fucking solid. He's doing a great job on SmackDown. If I could emulate any color commentary, it would be probably Wade Barrett right now on the mainstream audiences, if not maybe Corey Graves second place. So with Pat McAfee coming back, we don't know what's going on with Wade Barrett. I'm hoping it's a 3-man booth, but I'm curious to see the dynamic between Wade Barrett and Pat McAfee. Because we know Wade Barrett, Michael Cole can do great fucking shit. We, of course, know what Michael Cole and Pat McAfee can do. I wonder if they're going to get a 3-man booth and see how those attitudes mesh.
I doubt it.
Together.
I doubt it.
But then what do you do with Wade Barrett then?
Go back to NXT?
Booker T's contract did end in December. I think he's on a week-to-week contract right now. So
right.
Is that a demotion to Wade Barrett then? And I don't think he deserves a demotion if it is considered one.
No, I don't necessarily think so. I think there's probably an understanding of like what is going on here.
Oh, like you fill the role. You did it. Now you go back.
Next man up here.
Okay, that makes sense. We'll see you in September.
See you in September. Right. Okay. Like that's probably what it is. Like, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, they're besties, man.
Great.
Like, I know it's not fair from Wade Barrett because he has done a knockout job for replacing Pat McAfee, but
great.
There's only one Pat McAfee, and he is amazing at what he does. And Michael Cole absolutely loves him. So
yeah, you can tell. I saw several clips of the Pat McAfee show. Michael Cole was on. It was great. But I think Michael Cole and Wade Barrett have a great chemistry together too.
They have good chemistry,
which isn't talked about enough. And Wade Barrett can offer stuff like in the ring as a wrestler and as a psychology in the ring aspect and storyline wise. Pat McAfee comes from a fan. He's saying what we want to say. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying I kind of want to see all three together to see how they mesh. At least one show. Just give me one show to see how three of them mesh together. Because
Pat McAfee is also someone that doesn't necessarily need this job. He wants it.
We talked about numerous times.
He FanDuel paid him a shitload of money. Mm-hmm. Way more than he's worth way more than even Roman Reigns right now. Like as far as financially. But yeah, but I think that's what makes Pat McAfee so unique is just because they allow him to say his thing, and I think they're very well aware of the fact that he doesn't need this that he wants to be there.
Well,
he
again,
enjoys it.
That's why I'm so curious to see how the three of them would work together, because all three of them have different personalities. And I
don't think the SmackDown needs it.
No, I'm saying they don't. I'm not saying they do need it. Personally, as a fan of Wade Barrett, one of my favorites, I'm curious how he would mesh with Pat McAfee. Just give me one show, maybe one match before Pat McAfee takes over again. Please, that's my golden thoughts. Just give me one match with all three of them together.
I hate to say it. I don't think that's going to happen, Putty. My own personal thoughts. I could be wrong.
We don't know. You could be wrong because there's no one saying anything. They said Pat McAfee's coming back January, I think, next week, maybe 2 weeks. But nobody's saying what's going on with Wade Barrett. So that's what I'm saying it tonight. Like, give me at least one match, maybe one show, and see what happens. But now we're talking in circles. Marcus, where can people find you on social medias?
You can find me on my website, yourfavoriteactor.com. All my social media links are in there, along with updates about Shot of Wrestling here. You can listen to our episodes on there. You can see interviews that I've done on there as well. You can check this out on YouTube. Shot of Wrestling is on there. I'll play clips of the show directly on there, along with the interviews that we have. And yeah, in the meantime, guys, please give us some stars here. Give us some love, and also let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's anything you guys want us to bring up or change up. Let us know that as well. We're here for you, strictly for you. We're wrestling fans as well. We are wrestling commentators, but we are here to serve you guys, to entertain you, if you will, but also, have to talk to shit. And we want you guys to join the conversation as well. So let us know.
As my good friend Green Man said, this show is from the fans to the fans. So get involved in the conversation. Hit us up, inbox at shotofwrestling.com. As Mark said, hit us up on our social medias. Conversation never ends. A comment, question can be read next show. So please, we want to hear from you. Please get involved. I'm tired of hearing about Marcus. I think Marcus is drunk. I think he misread his website. Isn't it yourfavoritefather.com? Like I'm a father.com? Or what's the new website?
Yourfavoriteactor.com. I didn't mess that up.
I'm a father. I'm a father.com. I should probably buy that before the show it posts. That's a fucking great one.
I'm curious if that exists now. It might be a porn site. Let's be careful.
I think it'll be I'mYourDaddy.com. Anyway, great week of TV, great week of wrestling. Congratulations to Mickie James and new Impact Knockouts champion for Marcus Schwann, for Vicious Vicki. I've been your host at Mickie James. Until next week, party out.
Hey baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh my. And maybe you seem a bit confused, yeah baby, but I got you pinned. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.